What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Locked In Sports Podcast. I'm William Locke, and joining me, as always, for this Major League Baseball podcast is Luis Barranco. It is Friday morning. It is sunny outside. It is 70 degrees. The vibes are good. Luis, how you doing?
Locked In Sports, MLB edition. How we do? It's a wonderful day to be alive. Happy Friday. Congratulations. We made it through another week. September is right around the corner. Do not remind me. Currently, it is hurricane season down here, so it is torrential monsoons every afternoon. So, happy Friday, though. How are we doing? How's life been up there for you?
Hey, I guess that's the reason the Marlins have a stadium or an indoor stadium, and the Rays are playing all on the road basically this month in September. Doing well. Another week in the books. Obviously, had the wrap up coaches versus kids award event dinner thing last night at the field with the Columbus Explorers. So it was good. Fun time. We'll miss that team, but we'll be back next year. Came up short this year. We'll be back next year. Other than that, getting back into the groove at work, all that stuff. But yeah, can't complain. Yankees, we'll get to them. Decent week. Going to St. Louis this weekend to watch two of the games against the Cardinals. So should be fun. My first time in St. Louis, despite being from Memphis, which is only like 4 hours away from St. Louis. And obviously we have the AAA team for the Cardinals. I've never been to St. Louis. So going to experience that this weekend. What do they call it? The ballpark, whatever the area around the stadium's called. Going to experience that, and yeah, should be a good weekend. Ballpark district, something like that.
It is Busch Stadium 3, I believe, is what they call it.
I don't think so.
I know they call it Busch 3, but I think Busch Stadium is like one of the premier ballparks in the majors. Would like to know how'd the game go? You get any hits, any homers, any pimp flips last night, or?
I did not do any bat pimp flips, whatever you want to call it. I had two singles. I decided not to leg them out into doubles. One was just a pop up to the infield. I got under it, hit it about a mile in the air, and it just dropped. So I guess you would call that an E whatever. And then the second one I hit into a right center gap. Not super deep, but yeah, I stayed for a single. Could have legged it out into a double, but I didn't want to hurt the legs with the tendonitis and everything, so it wasn't worth pushing it.
Okay, well, you're sounding like Anthony Volpe right now. I swear, or something like that.
I didn't get any balls in the field either. We had a bunch of people out there. It was more than 9 because we had so many. Like parents played, Kayla played, and then like all of the kids. So it was a bunch of people. It wasn't like super formal or anything.
I feel that. Do I have any food afterwards? Any like some za? Any?
Yeah, it was beforehand. We had pizza.
Yeah,
pizza wings. Yeah, and waters and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, let's have this debate before we start. What is the best pizza? Not like national chain pizza.
Best national chain pizza?
Yeah, because I know we always because you can be like, oh, local. Everybody has that like one local spot you always pop into. Like,
yeah,
Man,
national chain pizza. I like Domino's. They have really good cheesy bread, and I don't know, I feel like their pizza has good flavor. That would probably be my pick. Second, like Papa John's. I used to have Papa John's as a kid, but now I'm more so Domino's. If I go get national pizza, which is very rarely, but I would say them.
You're a pizza guy.
I'm a huge pizza guy. Not a sponsor, could be, by the way. Domino's, hit us up.
I like Domino's. Domino's after their pan pizza. I remember like in my fat guy days back in high school, I would easily house a pan pizza. Came in a black box. I would just order one to the house, and I would just eat one of those and have a good time. And Papa John's, though, consistency. Papa John's always hits.
Yep. All right. Well, that's enough pizza talk. Let's get into the baseball.
Wait. I was going to ask you something about the pizza talk.
Okay, what? Last question.
Okay, what's on your pizza? You know, margarita? Are you a white sauce guy? The only reason I'm asking about this is because you brought it up, and then Sunday night, my buddy and I, we ended up going to a local pizza shop here in pizza restaurant, and they had a variety. There was like white sauce, there was red sauce, there was no sauce, no cheese, like authentic Italian pizza.
I would say red sauce and toppings, either cheese straight up or sausage, and then or sausage and pepperoni. I don't like any of the veggies on there. I'm not a pineapple on pizza guy, so
You don't think pineapple should be on pizza?
I'm not against it. It's just I don't think it tastes that good. I don't think it really meshes. Not a good fit.
You know what slaps though?
What?
A good margarita pizza
Yeah,
with
for sure.
some burrata and some arugula. I mean, but that's just not pizza. At that point, that's like next level pizza. That's like,
Yeah,
eh,
I don't know. I don't know.
what do we call? It's like you know what? When that's the type of pizza like Five Guys pizza. Like Five Guys hamburgers are like $8-9. What's a Five Guys burger now these days?
Probably more, I would think now, right?
I don't even know. Inflation, man.
You,
Inflation's killing it.
you can't get lunch without spending $20 these days if you're eating out.
I disagree. I think you can easily can. Under $20, you can get a good meal for under 20.
Mm, not in Chicago.
What do you go? What do you mean? You could just go to Fresh Market or to like Whole Foods and get a rotisserie chicken, and there you go. There's your lunch.
Yeah, I don't want to eat rotisserie chicken though because it seeps into the plastic, all that stuff.
Oh, that now we're getting environmental, but I'm like, you said
No, that's
like,
microplastics. I don't want the microplastics.
oh my god, what do we become? Like, we're all gonna die of something at this point.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's like picking your poison. You either die of microplastics or you're gonna die of air pollution. So it's like
one of the two.
one of
One
the
of the
two.
two.
But hey, there's nothing bad with some good chicken tenders from Yankee Stadium, right? The
Yeah.
chicken tender bucket. I still have yet to experience a chicken tender bucket at Yankee Stadium. But as we continue
Wait.
today,
Before we get into it, please hit that subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube. Helps us. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers on the year. We're at 128, I think, right now. So thank you all for the support. Keep that number going up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Drop us a comment if you think our intros are annoying and we go on for too long and you just want to hear about the baseball. Let us know. I know there's been some people that have said that. Follow us on TikTok. We just hit 500 followers on TikTok, almost 50,000 likes. Thank you all for the support on that app. Keep hitting that follow button. Keep engaging with us. Keep giving us comments, even if they're toxic, even if you want to argue with us. We appreciate that. We appreciate the nice comments as well. Follow us on the Instagram and the Twitter. As always, Locked In Sports Pod or Locked In Sports is the @ you should be able to find us. And yes, just wanted to get that out there. Luis, I'll hand it off to you.
I mean, what a week it's been, my guy. I mean, we just talked about some pizza. We just talked about pizza chains, Columbus Explorers. But this week in the majors has been very interesting. I mean, you've had a great series starting the LA not Subway Freeway series that we're going to talk about with the Dodgers. And we've seen a lot of turnover. Did you see the statistic that Jeff Passan put out this week?
No, I actually missed it.
It was quite interesting. So I know, the Yankees, because they're in, and I'm not defending the New York Yankees. They're an abysmal ball club right now. But Jeff Passan put out the division leaders back, I think it was in June 14th and August 14th. And June 14th in the NL West, the leader was the Dodgers. Now, the San Diego Padres. The Central, Cubs are leading. Now it's the Brewers. NL East, the Mets were leading. Now the Phillies. AL West, Houston has maintained. Central, the Tigers have maintained. And then the East was the Yankees, now the Blue Jays. What this kind of reminds me of is baseball is a 162-game season. You don't win a division in half a season or a quarter of a season. You win a division over a whole body of work. So as long as you start out slow, you just get hot and stay hot, i.e. the Blue Jays, you can win the division. A lot of these teams that are out of first place now have been struggling. And a lot of playoff lives are now in jeopardy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of turnover this year. I think my favorite race is that NL West when the Dodgers were up by so much. Now the Padres had that really good trade deadline, and now they're leading. And those two teams play each other this weekend, which is just going to be absolute must-see TV for any baseball fan, even if you're not a fan of those two teams. And then even you mentioned the West. Yes, the Astros are still leading, but Seattle's right there, man. I know they just had a tough series against Baltimore, which we'll get into, but Seattle's knocking on their door. They had a really good trade deadline. Houston's dealing with a lot of injuries now. Their closer, we'll talk about him later. He's got some concerning injury reports that have come out this week. And yeah, like I said last time, there's just a ton to look forward to, I think, down the stretch of the season. Tons of storylines, tons of division races, wild card races, award races. Like most of the award races are pretty open at this point, except a few. So every reason to be excited for the last month and a half of this baseball season. As if you're watching on YouTube, Luis's power just went out again. But anyway, I think I hit on all the things that I'm looking forward to down the stretch. So, Luis, welcome back. Your power, I don't know. This is the second time in the last month or so that your power's gone off mid episode.
I swear, every single episode there's something new. Like last week, it was the Wi-Fi with you. Then it was Wi-Fi with me. Like, I mean, why can't we just get a clean, complete game? No issues week of podcasting. But we're here. We're here to talk about baseball. Let's not keep the listeners too unsettled, because I know they're going to get mad because it's been 11 minutes and we haven't actually talked any substance yet. But let's get to the Yankees recap this week. As we do on all the podcasts, we always do the week in review with the New York Yankees with our Yankee fan aficionado, William, who's been a fan since birth. Yankees this week had a week versus the AAA team that is the Minnesota Twins. No disrespect to Minnesota, but tough week for Minnesota. I mean, Yankees won 2 out of 3, with the Yankees winning on Monday 6-2, Tuesday 9-1, and the Twins got the win 4-1 on Wednesday from the Joe Ryan start. Tough week for Minnesota. I think the biggest news of note with Minnesota is that they will not be selling the team. The Poland family will be keeping control of the team. We told our good friend Joe from the CFB side of things about that, and he was very frustrated that the Twins are not going to get new ownership. But this is the Yankees week in review. Monday, winning 6-2. Will Warren had a very good start, going 6 2/3, going 2 earned, 7 strikeouts. It was a homer barrage from Stanton, Bellinger, Jazz, and Ben Rice. Weaver and Bednar only had to go 2 1/3 with 4 strikeouts in relief. Tuesday, Yankees got 7 from Rodon with a 9-1 victory. Rodon went 7 strong, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts. Rodon at the start had a bases loaded with 0 outs. He only allowed 1 earned run off of that. But then the Yankees just settled in. Stanton, Giancarlo, 4 for 5, 1 homer, 3 RBIs, and a double. It was only a triple shy of the cycle. Career homer, 441, passing Jason Giambi for all-time list 44. And then Wednesday, which I think was the head-scratcher game for a lot of people. The game started late as there was weather in the New York area. Twins won 4-1. Joe Ryan was great, going 6 2/3, 1 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Cam Schlittler, again, very good. 5 innings, 1 earned, 2 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Registered a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, I believe, which is one of the fastest pitches this season in the majors. Yerry De Los Santos was not great. And then you had a Cody Bellinger homer in the I can't remember when, but it was homer number 22. The biggest news out of today after that game was that Paul Goldschmidt had a knee sprain, and that Boone would not pinch hit Goldie for Austin Wells against the lefty in the 7th because of this knee injury, which if you watch the game on Tuesday night, Goldie hit a double and was kind of hobbling into second. William, what do we think?
It was Goldschmidt couldn't run the bases, and then the injury seemed to stem from a ball he caught in foul territory where he landed kind of awkwardly. So that stinks. That's our best hitter against left-handed pitching. That is probably going to be hitting the injured list. Haven't seen an official move, but I expect that to come pre-game today ahead of the game in St. Louis, kicking off the 3-game set. I honestly don't have much to take away at all from this series. Like, the most frustrating thing is Boone going to Yerry De Los Santos in the 6th when you had a full bullpen available, when the game was tied at that point, 1-1, and Yerry comes in, gives up the 3 earned runs, and that was your game. The Yankees were still in it against Joe Ryan, who was, my God, I can't stand his grunting. Like it's a little excessive. You don't need, it's not tennis. It's, Robbie Ray does it too. The excessive grunting, just a little bit overboard for me. I don't need it. Nonetheless, he was great. He's, one of the best pitchers in the American League. And I can see why the Twins wanted to hold on to him at the deadline. He's very, very talented. He went 6 2/3, 1 earned, 7 Ks against the Yankees. His ERA is a 2.72 on the season. Like, very good pitcher. The Yankees could not do much against him. The only thing they got going was the Bellinger home run. And that was the most frustrating thing. Like, you always say it, good teams win series, great teams sweep. And this is a team that, in the Twins, they traded away their whole team at the deadline, and you can't complete the sweep. I know it's their best pitcher, but you got to win in the playoffs. You're going to have to win against good pitching. Breaking news, they took care of the pitchers I had barely even heard of on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the one good pitcher that the Twins still have. I mean, I know Pablo Lopez has been on the shelf for quite a while, and I don't think they should really rush him back this season. But the one good pitcher you face this week, you lose. And it's like, that's a series the Yankees should be winning every single game. And it was Wednesday that the Red Sox and the Mariners and the Guardians, I think they all lost. And it was the Blue Jays lost. It was an opportunity for the Yankees to gain a game in the series, and they didn't do it. And I don't like Monday and Tuesday. Great. Like, Tuesday was so enjoyable. Like, finally, just an easy win. Didn't really have to stress about anything. Didn't have to use the high leverage relievers. Coasted and, was able to relax watching that one. Same with Monday. Bender and Weaver did really good in relief in that game. And Will Warren was very fun to watch. But I don't know. It left me it left me hanging, I guess, not getting that sweep. And, you got St. Louis this weekend and Tampa, both on the road coming up this weekend and into next week. Like, those are two series you got to win. You got to win both of those series. So I don't know. I really don't have much to take away, because it's like the Yankees dominate the Twins. They always beat the Twins, but they should have done more.
I mean, Joe Ryan was amped up. Do you want to know some statistics on Joe Ryan from his start on Wednesday?
Let's hear it.
So his yearly average on his fastball on Savant, and this is they posted this up the other day on Twitter. In Savant, it was 93.5, his yearly average on the fastball. Okay. You know what his average velocity was on Friday? Oh, Wednesday with the fastball?
It's like 96, 95?
96.7 on the Yankees. He was amped.
Yeah.
Slider, 91 average during the game. Yearly average, 87.6.
Wait. Did you say that again?
So his yearly average was an 87.6.
On the slider?
He was throwing at 91.1.
Wow.
Splitter, 91.3 average versus the Yankees, only throwing at 87.6.
On the season.
Yeah, he's doing his Red Sox audition, I believe. Like, that's like, come and get me. Like, I mean, if the Yankees could get him, I think Joe Ryan's one of the most underrated pitchers in the game. And if you put him in the right circumstances, like, he would be great. I mean, I was highly impressed. And even in the Yes Network telecast, he really didn't make any mistakes. And I know Yankee Stadium better, but I feel like the wind was blowing in on Wednesday, because there was a lot of balls that were hit out warning trap or deep center, and they were getting caught up there. Like, Stanton had a big one that got hit out there. I think Judge had a big one. So I don't know. But I think the most interesting thing is Boone's management decisions again. And I know we beat this like a drum on this podcast, but I'm going to give credit to Yankee Source on Twitter. He asked AI and Grook on Twitter, what would you do if you were the Yankees manager in the situations? Like, what would have been like your plan of action with the bullpen? Okay. So Grook, credit Elon Musk. In the top of the six.
I think it's Grok.
Okay,
Grok
AI. Whatever.
Yeah.
Grok AI.
I'm glad you don't use it. I'll just say that. There's those brain dead people on Twitter that see an article and ask Grok to summarize it for them. It's like, just read the damn article. Anyway, keep going.
I actually do. I don't use Grok. I use other ones.
I use ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm not against AI. I'm just like the people on Twitter that can't think for themselves and they just ask Grok to summarize everything for them. It's like, come on, let's do a little bit, little critical thinking. Anyway.
Yeah. So Grok says he would have pulled Schlittler and used Camilo Doval to handle the 6 high leverage. And the reason is he's a high leverage ground ball strikeout arm. And he would have assumed a clean inning with about 15 pitches. Do you agree with that decision?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. In the top of the 7th, Grok says he would have brought in Mark Leiter Jr. And he's why? Leiter's splitter is excellent versus Wallner, a left-handed bat, inducing weak contact or strikeouts. His slider works around right-handed hitters against Jeffers and Lewis, who may chase at breaking pitches, ideal for a high leverage inning. And the plan for Leiter would have been target a clean inning, 10 to 15 pitches, and if runners were on, Grok says to pivot to Luke Weaver for length, or keep or Doval if there was a low pitch count from the last innings for a few more outs.
Okay.
Do you agree with what Grok said?
Well, Lewis got the RBI double off Leiter after he came in for De Los Santos. So according to Grok, he probably would have kept Doval in at that point, or it said with runners in base, Doval or
Weaver.
Leiter, yeah, is not the guy. So maybe go to Weaver. So I think you maybe go to Weaver at that point and take Leiter out of the game. But yeah, I would go probably Weaver after Doval there, or maybe Leiter.
He's saying Doval. Grok saying Doval if it's light, if he didn't go that deep in 6, and then Leiter if there's runners, use liners against the lefty, and then if runners got on, use Weaver. In the 8th, Luke Weaver, mid-90s fastball and changeup handles mixed lineups. His multi-inning ability bridges to the 9th. Use Yerry De Los Santos if Weaver's already pitched, or if the Yankees lead and need a power arm. Do we agree?
Yeah, that's fair.
And then in the 9th, David Bednar, elite closer with the high 90s fastball, curveball, best for a tie save situation, especially with the Twins top of the order. So that is what Grok thinks the Yankees should have done, which is crazy because the Yankees are so big on analytics. There's a whole Clint Frazier thing that came out a couple days. It was a couple days ago. I can't even remember. Days are just smashing up.
Monday, I think, yeah.
Where it was just like Clint Frazier was like, Boone, not Boone, but the manager would have the lineup, and then he would take it to the analytics department, and then the analytics department would compare, and then they would produce a lineup off of that. My whole thing is like the model that they're running, something's off, because why is Yerry De Los Santos your first call? You had and this was something that they did. They always do. Yes Network and a lot of teams put their whole, bullpen, usage, chart. And you didn't use anybody on Tuesday night. So Boone had the whole freaking bullpen to use, and your first card is Yerry De Los Santos. I don't think Yerry De Los Santos is a bad pitcher. My problem is it's like you had so many better options, and the game was still in the balance.
Yeah, I mean, that was directly what impacted the game. That is what lost the game for the Yankees. And I know the Yankees weren't able to get to the Twins bullpen, but who knows where that game goes if they bring in their high leverage relievers and it stays tied at 1. Like if it goes to extra innings tied 1-1, you probably favor the Yankees. And like I said, it was just a lost opportunity for the Yankees to pick up a sweep, pick up a win when all of the teams you're competing against for the wild card and I guess maybe the division, they all lost. And you bring in, again, I agree. I think Yerry De Los Santos has value as a low leverage middle reliever for this team, but he's not a high leverage, game tied, 6th inning type of reliever. And that's what lost the game for the Yankees on Wednesday. And I know they won the series 2 out of 3. It almost feels like a series loss because of just what was left on the table.
And I agree. I want to have discussions with you. Austin Wells, 2025 statistics. He's negative 2.2 WAR. He's hitting 206, 56 RBIs, on base percentage of 264, and a slugging of 408. I'm gonna just ask the question: is there any other than Anthony Volpe, who I think we've laid off of Volpe, and I think Volpe, like I said last pod, Volpe needs a little more credit. Bat's coming along a little bit. I'm not saying that he's been exponentially better, but it's coming along. But with Austin Wells, let's talk about it. More disappointing season than Austin Wells this season on the Yankees?
Volpe's defense has gotten a lot better. Most disappointing season. Yeah, probably. I mean, there's not many others that, guys that I'm like, man. And that's the crazy thing about the Yankees. It's like they have guys that are producing, but Wells is like the one guy where you're like, I need more from him. I mean, we've seen it where Ben Rice is starting to get more reps at catcher. And I talked about it, how Ben Rice needs to be in the lineup every day. And Boone's kind of proving that he's playing him every day at this point, pretty much. And the thing with Wells is I didn't really expect a ton this season. It's not like the production has really been there in the past as a hitter. I mean, 13 home runs last year with a 717 OPS isn't exactly groundbreaking. So disappointing, absolutely. But against my expectations, I don't know. I'm disappointed with the pop time and his inability to throw out runners. That's, I would argue, maybe the most important thing as a catcher. I know pitch framing is huge and blocking is huge, but like if guys are just going to be able to run on you all day, fast guy gets a single, in theory, he could be on third with a catcher that can't throw out a runner. If you think of like I don't know, it doesn't have to be groundbreaking speed like Ellie De La Cruz or Chandler Simpson, like even guys that I can't think, Stephen Kwan, not necessarily world beating speed, but a good base runner. Like if he gets on first and Austin Wells is behind the dish, you expect him to steal second every single time. You expect him to be able to potentially steal third. He's got 12 stolen bases on the season. Career high, I think, is 21 for Kwan. But yeah, getting off the point, I definitely disappointed with what we've seen from Wells this year. And I don't know, like, what do you do with him moving forward? Like, do you send him down? Does he have options? Do you?
Well, that's my question to you. I mean, the guy's hitting 111 in his last 28, 169 at OBP, 355, 185 slug. Like, dude's not been good against lefties. He's hitting 242 against righties. He's 189 at this point. Like, people don't like JC Escara, but I mean, hey, why can't we have my boy JC back there? JC, I think, is the better defensive catcher. I know the bat's not there, but when both people aren't hitting the bats, I mean, what value are you adding to the team? And this is my problem with the Yankees. Again, you have a guy like Anthony Volpe when he was struggling, and he didn't get benched. Austin Wells has been like sitting, but like at this point, like how is he going to get better? What are we doing for him to get better? Yeah, you can do a bunch of, and this is just like a life thing. You can be doing a lot of practice in the cage. You can be in the cage and doing a bunch of drills and everything. But where are those valuable in-game reps? And this as a coach, you want to be in getting those in-game reps and that experience in game, because every game presents a different situation that you can practice or you're going to have to think on the fly and do. And right now, Wells isn't doing that. Wells has only played in his last 7 days, has only started 3 games, and he's had 9 plate appearances. So you're telling me 9 plate appearances, you're going to see a change?
Right. And baseball is a sport that's meant to be played every single day. So when you're sitting on the bench, essentially collecting dust, I know you take BP and you do on-field work before the game, but there's nothing like a game, playing in the game. And these teams don't practice because they're playing every single day. The off days, I'm sure they come into the facility and get some work done, but it's not a full bore like spring training where you're sitting there truly practicing. So you're right. Like the only way for him to really improve would be to get game reps, and he's not. The thing is, like, he doesn't deserve the game reps the way he's been producing. So I think it would make sense to send him down to AAA, let JC be the backup, let Ben Rice be the starter, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the Yankees were in St. Louis yesterday. I don't know if you saw Jazz's Instagram. He was like, I've been in St. Louis for 18 hours. I've been sleeping for 12 of them.
Wow.
So, yeah, Jazz. So, I mean, look, that's like, you do bring up a good point, and it opens up the point that I'm going to ask you, and I want to close on this. Stanton was playing the field this week. Do you think Stanton playing on the field has brought a different level of a player at the dish?
No, because he's been good all season. He's been one of our best hitters since he's come back from that injury, the elbow injuries. But I will say that I am terrified of him in the field. It's been serviceable, but he just you need to wrap the guy in bubble wrap because one play where he goes a little bit too hard and boom, it's a hamstring or it's a calf, and they talk about it on the broadcast how he's very, very disciplined in that he runs that one speed. He can't turn it on anymore, or he chooses not to turn it on anymore because he runs the risk of getting injured. We've seen him run faster in the past. He can't go past that one gear. And he's been staying disciplined in the outfield, but is there a ball, a gapper that he thinks he can get to that he turns it on a little bit too much and then boom, it's the calf or the hamstring? Like that's what scares me with him in the outfield. But very good season, obviously, production wise from Stan. He's been fun to watch, and that home run he hit was an absolute bomb mid bleachers in left center.
He's hit some fun ones this year. I think the other takeaway we've got to talk about is Yankees organization, what they think about Mr. Domínguez, Mr. Jasson Domínguez. I mean, Jasson Domínguez clearly is the fourth outfielder in the mix. I mean, right now it seems like the pecking order is Bellinger, Grisham, and Stanton and Judge. I mean, Judge is right, but Stanton's game played. And I mean, with Domínguez, it does bring up the questions of what his future is with the team. I know it's premature, but like if you're not getting run out in the outfield, and I kind of think it's an embarrassment as a player. Like if we think Giancarlo Stanton can play right field over you, which that's a big issue. And I mean, the way Trent's been playing this year, being the clutch guy, I know people on Twitter I've read have been floating around it. Okay, Kyle Tucker's going to be available for 40 to 50 million, but I mean, you already got Kyle Tucker at home with Cody Bellinger. For the same price as one Kyle Tucker, you can get one Cody Bellinger, one Trent Grisham, and a Luke Weaver all at the same price. And then at that point, I think Domínguez would get moved for a starting pitcher. So you don't have to dip into the starting pitcher market that is not that deep in free agency. You're only looking at guys like Dylan Cease, Framber Valdez. And at that point, I don't know if you're going to be spending those prices. So, I mean, it's very interesting to see what happens with Domínguez this weekend in the lineup. Will he get run, or will the team now prioritize wins and development? It looks like, the way they're being treating Wells, I mean, he's not cutting it. We're not going to develop it. And Domínguez is like, we're putting in Trent Grisham.
The Yankees faced 3 right-handed pitchers this week, and Jasson Domínguez didn't play once. And we know he can't hit lefties, right? That's why he doesn't, because he can't hit from the right side. That's why he doesn't play against lefties that often. But this shaped up to be a series where he would be playing most of the games. And to your point, he didn't play once. It was Bellinger out and left all 3 games. And yeah, it's a very serious question of, okay, I mean, next year it's, you would hope they re-sign Cody Bellinger. I think that's going to be probably offseason priority number 1 for the Yankees. I don't think there's going to be any big ticket offseason free agent signings outside of Bellinger this summer or this winter. What?
But Boris started early this year. Boris' season has started. I mean, the Mets want Cody Bellinger. Could you imagine if Cody Bellinger signs as the Mets? I don't think it's going to happen, but could you imagine how the Bronx will be?
I know. I did see that tweet. I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, he is a Boris guy, so you never know. I think
he's driving up the price. What are you talking about? Like, think about it. Cody Bellinger had a good weekend this past weekend. Dad was in town. Dad flew out first pitch for the Yankees on Sunday. All nostalgic. Impending free agent. You look at Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker's splits this year. They're pretty similar to an extent. Boris doesn't have any big ticket guys left. His next big ticket guy would be Scooble coming up next season. Hey, the devil works hard, but Scott Boris works at a different level.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Either way, I think Bellinger is going to be offseason priority number 1. I don't think they re-sign Grisham. Maybe they do. But I would think it would be Bellinger in center, Judge in right, and then Spencer Jones in left field next season. And where's the spot for Dominguez? You're not going to DH him because Giancarlo is going to be there until his contract runs out. And then once Stanton's contract runs out and he probably retires, Judge is going to slide into the DH role. But this is years down the road. Like, did the Yankees want to keep Jasson Domínguez around as a bench guy until then? Because I really do think Jones is probably going to be the guy in left field next year. And Domínguez has kind of already proven that he's not much of a defensive center fielder. He's improved this year, but he's not, very good out there. He doesn't leave you with confidence. So I don't know where the spot is for him. Like, does he learn how to play first base? But again, I think Ben Rice is going to be there. Ben Rice is going to be catching. Ben Rice is going to be DHing. So I don't know what you do with Dominguez. He's not necessarily surplus to requirements because he's not producing that well this year. He's been okay, not against left-handed or left-handed pitching. Sorry. So what's his trade value? I don't know. He's still a very young player. He's 22 years old. The potential is there for him to improve. I would be a little bit nervous just cutting bait with the guy, but I don't know where he fits in.
I mean, you trade him for a starting pitcher, like I said. Your outfield next year is Grisham, Bellinger, Judge, and Spencer Jones.
So you do think they bring back Grisham?
I do. Okay. I think Grisham's been invaluable. I think how many games would you guys lose if Trent Grisham isn't there? And just like the value Trent Grisham adds defensively at center.
You did say, though, last episode that you think he's going to get like 5 years, $100 million. Yeah. I don't know if the Yankees pay that. And I don't know if he's getting $100 million. Like, come on. I think it'll be, I have no idea. I'm not good at projecting out contracts.
Well, I mean,
60 million, 70 million.
The one that's getting scary by the day is Bellinger might push 30. Yeah. That's going to be a contract that's going to be mega. He's going to push 30, and who knows and I don't want to get too caught up in this today, but it's like we talk about the CBT and the tax money with the Yankees and the tax money around the league. You got the impending lockout for one. I don't know what direction they're going to want to do because, I mean, teams like the Yankees, the Mets, and the Dodgers have been getting penalized for going over the tax in the draft. And I have read that maybe they want to not reset the books, which I thought that would have made sense doing this year, resetting the books, but then they added all this money on, so who knows?
Who knows? That's enough Yankee talk, I think, for today.
Yeah, enough Yankee talk, but I mean, good week. Let's talk about some series Monday. William, let's do the fish files. It's time.
Oh, you want me to tee up the fish files for you? All right.
Let's get this over with because I know you're gonna grill me. It's whatever.
Well, the Marlins. I was gonna say the Twins. The Marlins took a trip to beautiful, sunny Cleveland on the banks of Lake Erie.
Yep.
Guardians take 2 out of 3. Tuesday, Guardians win 4-3. Jansen Junk, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned. He struggled a little bit, gave up 2 home runs. Logan Allen went 5 innings, 2 earned runs for Cleveland, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. But J-Ram, 2 homer game, up to 25 on the season. Kyle Manzardo also homered, but J-Ram went 3 for 4 with 2 homers, 2 ribbies, and a double. His solo home run in the 8th gave the Guardians a 4-3 lead. Cade Smith went an inning and a third to close out the win for the Guardians on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the Marlins picked up their lone win of the series. Yerry Perez, 5 innings, 4 earned. So he wasn't great, gave up 2 home runs. But you did have the second home run of the season from Xavier Edwards. Also, 2 home run game for Jacob Marcy. He's up to 3 on the season with that. Also had a home run from Graham Pauley. Jacob Marcy, though, in the Wednesday game, went 4 for 5 with 7 ribbies, 2 homers, 2 runs, a stolen base, and a double. He tied the franchise record for RBIs in a single game. He has been outstanding. And then on Thursday, the Guardians won the series. They won the rubber match 9-4. J-Ram, another good game, 3 for 4. Xavier Edwards went 2 for 4. He's actually been quite good. Nice little pickup for my fantasy team this year. He is at 307 for his batting average this year, which is second in the National League. And the Guardians, though, they did win. They won the series. They won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. And I think the Marlins, you declared them dead back in June.
We're not dead. We're not dead. We're not dead. Let's do the fish eyes. We're not dead. Mets are struggling. I mean, we're still in it. I mean, I think we're only 7 back right now.
Still 6, which I think that's where they were heading into the week.
That's fine. We still got the Mets still got to come down to the friendly confines that is Lone Depot, not Wrigley Field, Lone Depot, the friendly confines that is Lone Depot. Lone Depot at the end of the season gets rocking.
Known fortress, Lone Depot.
It's a fortress. We got MVP Kyle Stowers and Rookie of the Year Jacob Marcy. Let's talk about Jacob Marcy. He had 7 RBIs on Wednesday night, after he had 3 stolen bases on Saturday. Let's talk about it. Opta stats in the live ball era since 1920. No other rookie has had a 7 RBI game and a 3 stolen base game in a season. The only player to have a 4-game span with a 7 RBI game and a 3 RBI stolen base is
no idea.
Another center fielder.
PCA.
No, PCA stinks right now.
Yeah, we'll get to him
later. Yeah, I'm about to get crucified by Cubs fans, but Grady Sizemore in August. So yeah, I mean, Jacob Marcy's playing like an MVP level. He has the number 1 WRC plus right now in the major leagues at 280, higher than Ohtani, Pete Alonso, and Stanton. Buddy's playing great. I mean, Bendix is doing Bendix moves. Again, if we're making the playoffs, hopefully. I was pretty sure of it, but I mean, we can't beat the Guardians. Guardians are on a heater right now. J-Ram is turning it on. Again, J-Ram's one of those careers that we need to start giving credit to. He went 7 for 11 during the Marlins series, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. And he's the only player this year to be in the 25-35 club this season. So, again, J-Ram clearly carrying the whole Guardians in the back, but the Marlins will be all right. I mean, we got tough stretch in the schedule right now. I think we got Boston tonight.
Yep, 3 in Boston.
Yeah, we got Crochet this weekend, and then we'll get Alden's Cardinals this week. So, and we already did work on the Cardinals. So, hey, we got Boston this weekend. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll do work with St. Louis, and then we'll get Toronto. We'll get those Canadians next week for y'all. Ideally, we do work this week and next week for the Yankees in the division, but man, right now it's been a tough stretch. A lot of the guys we have on the team have been struggling. Eric Wagaman and especially Dane Myers has been really bad. I got some stats for you with that. Liam Hicks has also been struggling. We have a lot of guys coming up real soon, but it's just right now it's the dog days. Dane Myers since June 18th is hitting 152. Eric Wagaman since July 2nd is hitting 156. Liam Hicks since July 2nd is 228. And the problem is we don't have anybody in AAA. I mean, it's just struggles of the major league season. And I mean, we're a developing team.
Young team, going to take your lumps. Xavier Edwards, though, on the positive side of things, in August, he's hitting 381 with a 901. 901 OPS for a guy that doesn't hit home runs is really impressive. He only has 1 home run in the month of August and got his first home run of the season in July. And this is a guy that's played most of the season. So he's been quite good for your Marlins. He's
a solid little player.
Doesn't play great defense.
He's second baseman, solid little player. He can bat the ball. He's a mini RAs.
Shortstop.
It's him and Otto Lopez running the middle of the diamond. Otto's more of our shortstop, but yeah. I mean, hey, got Boston for 3. It's gonna be a tough one. Another locked in sports derby between me and Armand this weekend. I know Armand probably won't watch the game. Probably doesn't even know that they're in town.
No, he pronounced crochet. He pronounced crochet Crockett. So I don't think he's locked in on the Sox.
I don't think he's locked in on the Sox. I don't really think Armand can. This happened at the game. I don't think he knows that the Sox are even in town. Does he know that the team even exists?
No, he's not. He's totally locked in on residency. So
he's locked in already. He probably thinks football season's about to start. I posted that meme in the group chat with MLB parlays and football parlays, and he was like,
I mean,
on another note, I mean, we just talked about the Guardians. We're still waiting on the whole gambling scheme to fully unveil with Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase. Have you? I know this is a little bit off topic, but have you? Did you see the Michael Porter Jr. Interview this week?
Yeah, that was actually a little concerning. The logic that he put out there.
Interviews, not one. It's like some people just don't need to have a podcast, Mike. And not saying that he shouldn't, but it's just like he should think a little more about like how he's gonna get clipped up.
I do think it's interesting because I'm sure that's a lot of the logic that some of these pitchers that were potentially doing some sketchy gambling stuff potentially use. And he said that essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I saw on Twitter. Like Michael Porter Jr. said that, you see an opportunity as a player to, I don't know, maybe fake an injury or miss a free throw or something, and you can make all of your friend group rich, get them an easy 10K. Like if you can help out your boys, like that's something that you're gonna do. It's a risk you're willing to take, which is just, I can't believe he got on a mic and said that as a player. Like that is just Adam Silver should step in there. That is like directly altering or affecting the integrity of the game. But that is the logic that Porter Jr. said used, and I think it does make sense. Like in terms of trying to think of why guys would do this.
And coming from the socioeconomic backgrounds a lot of these guys come from, like not the best. And yeah, I mean, he said it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But yeah, it just got it like you've said, like you've been preaching to the choir for about 2 years now. And so
it is definitely going to get worse before it gets better until something changes. So we'll see where the Guardians thing nets out. I mean, will we see Class A in the major leagues ever again? I don't know.
Will be interesting. Let's keep it going. Let's talk about the NL West. Let's talk about two. I'm gonna wrap these two series, lump them together because they're pretty important. Padres swept the Giants. Padres won Monday 4-1, 5-1 on Tuesday, and 11-1 Wednesday. Giants have now fallen behind the Diamondbacks on fourth place in the NL West. Michael King went to the IL with knee inflammation yesterday. Giants have lost 13 of 14 at home. Giants have been clearly struggling, but the Padres have been on fire with Mason Miller pitching the eighth, holding on Monday, and Robert Suarez pitching the ninth on Monday. Lump that in with the Freeway Series with the Angels and Dodgers, where the Angels swept the Dodgers. I mean, Angels fans were having a field day on Twitter talking about how they beat $1 billion team with the Angels winning 7-4 on Monday, clinching the season series against the Dodgers, making it 5 straight on Monday now, 7 straight on Wednesday. Ohtani, you had the whole situation leak out about the whole real estate debacle that happened on Tuesday. We, as the Locked In Sports podcast, will not speak about this until there's more facts and details on it. Interesting to see what happens with that. And then Wednesday, Angels won 6-5. Season sweep. Angels, for some reason, do a great job versus elite teams. Let's talk about it. I mean, Ohtani has a story breakout, homers, and then you had the triple play on Ohtani. I mean, this division now is shaping up to be one of the major league's best right now. They play this weekend, a 3-game set. Dodgers are in second. I've been saying Dodgers are in trouble. Nobody's been wanting to listen to me, but here they are in second place. I feel like the meme of Ace Bailey's agent.
Yeah,
he's like, that's
in
how
the car,
I feel
in
right
the car.
in the car. Yeah. That's how I feel right now. I've been telling y'all, and the Padres are here. Will be interesting to what happens this weekend.
Yeah, like I said, that's must-see TV. Lot to get to there because I do want to talk about all of those teams, mainly the Giants and the Ohtani thing. Let me start with the Ohtani thing. And I agree, like, let's wait to see how this new real estate scandal nets out. But my biggest takeaway with this Ohtani story is this is now 2 very bizarre off the field scandals related to Shohei Ohtani over the past 2 years. And Major League Baseball has done a very careful job building Ohtani's brand, building him as one of the faces of Major League Baseball since he came over to the States to play for the Angels, and really a lot more so when he came over and switched teams last offseason to the Dodgers as he got thrust even further into the spotlight, playing for one of the biggest teams, one of the biggest name brands in the entire sport. And last year, this weird scandal he had, the gambling scandal, his interpreter ended up in jail because of it. Like, that is no small thing. That is a huge deal, right? And Major League Baseball kind of had to recover from that and maintain his brand. And now this comes out this week in August, mid-August, and whether you like it or not, this directly calls Ohtani's character into question because, like I said, it's 2 years, 2 very weird stories related to Shohei Ohtani, and we'll see. Maybe the agent ends up taking the fall for this one. Maybe he's the guy that's at most at fault. But regardless, you got to call a spade, and weird stuff keeps popping up off the field with Ohtani, whether you like it or not. And now Major League Baseball is going to have to do some more damage control with his brand as the face of the league, because there are people, fans that are, and even me, I'm like, okay, there's clearly something going on with this guy off the field. Like, is Shohei Ohtani secretly like this super villain off the field? Like, is he a bad person? I don't know. I mean, he seems like a super fun loving guy, good dude when what we see from him. Now, he doesn't speak to the media that often, which is interesting. I don't know. I mean, it would be an interesting wrench if it turns out Ohtani is just not a good person off the field. I'm not saying he isn't, but this story was very, very weird. Very weird.
A lot of smoke. I mean, my whole thing. Let's keep it baseball related here. I don't want to talk off the field. I don't want to take about the integrity of the game. But as I say that, we talked about a gambling scandal last segment. But I mean, the Dodgers are struggling, and it'll be very interesting to see how they come about. And there's a month and a half left. They're in second place. They're now, instead of being the hunted, they're the hunters. They haven't been in that position in a while. I mean, Padres are playing good baseball. Honestly, like I don't know. I'm not a fan of this Dodger team at all. I don't need to say more. I mean, Mookie is hitting better. I mean, since the standing ovation, he's hitting 353, 924 OPS, 7 RBIs, and 9 runs. But at the same time, they have those questions about the back end of the bullpen. They have the questions about the rotation. They also have a musical chairs of players coming in and out of the lineup with injuries. It's just interesting to see how this team meshes with a month and a half left. The Padres, on the other hand, they've done all these acquisitions and they've just pulled forward and pulled ahead. Will be interesting to see what happens. Honestly, if MLB could rig something, I would totally try to rig a ALCS between the Dodgers, NLCS between the Dodgers and the Padres. It'd be absolute cinema. No offense to our Phillies fans, Josh, and the Brewers, but like a Padres Dodgers fan would probably close to like Yankees Red Sox in the 2000s.
Yeah, it would. That's the series I want to see the most in the playoffs. And I agree. Like, the thing that concerns me the most about the Dodgers is the back end of that pen. I think the lineup is going to be there in October. I think when the lights get brightest, Mookie will be there. Freddie Freeman's been turning things on, and the lineup is deep. Like, Will Smith is having a very good season. Teoscar hasn't been great of late, but I think he's going to be able to show up in the playoffs. Had that huge home run against the Padres last year in October. Max Muncy, he's had a good season. Started out very slow, but he's been playing a lot better. I know he just got back from injury. There's guys in the lineup. I think the lineup, I'm not too concerned. The rotation's getting healthy. Ohtani's ramping up. I think he was up to like 4 innings in his last start. Snell, Glasnow, they'll all be there. Yamamoto, they'll be there. I'm not worried about the rotation. I think it's one of the best, rivaling the Phillies in the National League. And then it's the bullpen. We had a bad report on Bruce Argaral. Doesn't seem like he's going to come back anytime soon. Tanner Scott's been banged up. Brock Stewart just landed on the injured list this week. And it's like, Kirby Yates has been on the injured list with back discomfort. It's like all these guys that are high leverage relievers. You see Roki Sasaki. I mean, he's not a reliever, but Roki Sasaki struggling in AAA. Like, not that he was going to play a role in this team this year, but it's the bullpen that scares me with the Dodgers. And that's something that does matter in the playoffs. It's something that they relied on heavily last year. in the playoffs to get them over the hump and to win a World Series. So that's something I'm monitoring. This series this weekend is going to be cinema, and they play each other twice over the next week because the Dodgers go to San Diego next weekend too. So grab your popcorn, must see TV.
Exactly, must see TV going out there in the Southern California.
And last thing on the NL West before we move on, I got to talk about the San Francisco Giants. The Giants, I think they're cooked. I think you can stick a fork in the Giants. They're dead this season. They're not making the playoffs, and it's starting to pivot to look toward next year in San Francisco. And the biggest thing with the Giants is this Rafi Devers trade has not worked out for the team since the trade happened on June 15th, but obviously he didn't play. So since June 16th, the Monday after the trade, the Giants are 29th in OPS as a team at 673. The only team that has a worse OPS than the Giants since the Rafi Devers trade is the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the worst teams in the sport. Batting average, 28th for the Giants. They have not hit the ball whatsoever since this Rafi Devers trade. And now and if you look at, let's break down the numbers for Devers himself as I pull them up. So Rafi Devers himself this season, and maybe this is just adjusting to a new stadium, a new team, new clubhouse, all that stuff. But Rafi Devers had a
new part of the country.
New part of the country as well. Rafi Devers in Boston this year played 73 games, had a 905 OPS. He came over to San Francisco, and at time of recording, he's played 49 games, and he has a 755 OPS. That's a 154 OPS plus, dropping all the way down to a 118 OPS plus. If you look at batting average, 272 in Boston. Now he's at 231 in San Francisco. This trade has not worked out for San Francisco. And if you look at Boston, since the trade, they have, obviously they're in a wild card spot. Boston is third in OPS since the Rafi Devers trade as a team. 762. And that's not as a team, that's a good OPS because there's going to be a lot of guys that bring that down. Third. This trade, I mean, people were grilling Craig Breslow when he made this trade, but this could look like a genuine masterclass move by him. Masterclass, because now he made San Francisco take on all of that money. Now they're hamstrung. They're stuck on that money for the rest of the Devers contract. It's a lot of money. He's not producing. It's still early. Like it's only 41 games, whatever I said. It's early, but extremely tough ballpark to hit in, right? New league, new side of the country. We know historically, look at Juan Soto's free agency. Juan Soto didn't want to go to the West Coast. A lot of those Dominican, Venezuelan guys like staying on the East Coast because it's closer to where they're from. I don't know. Maybe Devers doesn't work out in San Francisco. Maybe it's not a perfect fit. Maybe they end up trading him in the middle of this contract. But right now, this trade has been a masterclass by Craig Breslow. I got to say it.
Trade him to New York. Trade him to the Yankees. Put him in that little short porch.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God. If Devers got traded to the Yankees, he would turn into Barry Bonds because we know he's a Yankee killer. And he loves hitting in Yankee Stadium. He would turn into – it would be a perfect fit. I mean, I don't know. San Francisco is not going to want to trade him right now. But that would be – in 5 years down the road, probably wouldn't want to take on the money at that point. But
I would. He's an insane hitter. But regardless, let's enough Giants talk. I mean, Giants are dead. Willie Adames has also struggled, which will be something we'll talk about. Players leaving that Milwaukee Brewer system and struggling with Devin Williams and whatnot. Hader even struggled a little bit after he left from Milwaukee. But let's run through some series quickly that we don't really need to discuss. Kansas City won 2 out of 3 against the Nationals, winning Monday 7-4. Another Salvador Perez homer. Nats were up 4-2, but the Royals scored 4 off homers from Salvador Perez and Kyle Isbell. They won Tuesday 8-5. Pasquantino and Jonathan India went yard. And then Wednesday, the Nationals went 8-7. Seth Lugo had a tough start, going 4 strong, 6 earned, 4 walks. Other than that, we're going to talk about the Cardinals. Might be time to stick. All of the Cardinals might be on life support this weekend. This weekend could be the last stand in Busch Stadium. William will be boots on the ground. Rockies won 2 out of 3 versus the Cardinals. Rockies won on Monday 3-2. Miles Mikolas went 6 2/3, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts. Kyle Lee went 2 1/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, got the win in relief. Brendan Donovan hit a pinch hit 2 RBI double, giving the Cardinals the lead. Tuesday, Rockies won 3-zip. Kyle Freeland went 7 1/3, 0 earned, 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's the third Rocky in MLB history, in Rockies history, to hit 900 strikeouts. William asked me, who are the other two? My guesses are Ubaldo Jimenez is one, and the second one, I would guess, I would say Herman Marquez, maybe.
Herman Marquez is correct. Ubaldo Jimenez is not correct. Ubaldo Jimenez is fifth with, well, actually, yeah, this is 900 strikeouts, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Ubaldo is at 773. So number two, Herman Marquez is number one at 1,059. You want to have another guess for number two? There's no way you're going to guess this guy. No way.
Give me a hint.
Let me see.
I'm thinking like World Series 2004 Rockies team, or like 2018, 2019's Rockies teams.
2008 to 2016, he was on the team. He also played for Arizona, Chicago, Milwaukee, KC.
I was gonna say, what's his name? Brandon Webb, but no.
It's tough. I would never have guessed this guy.
Who? Oliver Perez?
Jorge De La Rosa.
Oh, I would have never gotten that one.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, but the Rockies got the win. That's enough Rockies talk for today. Sorry, Joe. Also, hometown team.
Wait. Are you moving on from that series?
No, there's one game I got to cover.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Rockies won 6-5 on Wednesday. Michael McGreevy went 6 strong, 3 earns, 2 strikeouts. Hunter Goodman had a pinch hit 2-run homer, giving the lead in the ninth, 6-5 to the Rockies. Jojo Romero blew the saves, and the Rockies won the season series versus the Cardinals for the first time since 2009.
Yeah, impressive by them. You talked about the Rockies or the Royals National Series. Dylan Cruz coming back from injury. Not that it matters, but he's coming back. And then, I mean, I guess you can't write off the Royals because they're only 4 back of the 3rd wild card spot right now, and they're a game under 500. They kind of just been hovering over 500 this whole year. But that's my only thoughts on those 2 series. And yeah, I agree. If the Cardinals lose this series, and the Cardinals are only 3.5 back of the wild card right now, so I guess you can't write them off either. But I think if they lose to the Yankees this weekend, probably stick a fork in them.
Yeah. Also, Nathaniel Lau got DFA'd.
He did.
For with the reinstatement with the Dylan Cruz trade.
Yeah, he hit a grand slam, I think, on Wednesday, and then they DFA'd him. So,
hey, good way to go out on.
Get
paid. Detroit versus the White Sox. Detroit won 2 out of 3. Tigers won 2-1 on Monday with Spencer Torkelson in the ninth, giving a 2-1 lead. Then White Sox won 9-6 off Yoendris Gomez. Yep, Yankee legend right there with 7 strikeouts. And then Tigers won 1-0. Troy Melton went 5 strong, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, and 56 pitches. 2-hour and 19-minute game. Detroit keeps stacking up wins.
Yeah, not much from that series, but that was a good series win for Detroit. I'm sure Tigers fans would have loved for them to sweep instead of just win 2 out of 3. But you'll take the series win. And yeah, Yoendris Gomez got the call up. I know he was spending a lot of time in AAA this year. Career high in strikeouts for him. Edward Caro's been quite good in my opinion, for the White Sox this year, alongside Colson Montgomery, who might lead the team in home runs this season. But yeah, not much from this one. Good win for the Tigers, the Tigres.
Yeah, let's go talk about Tampa. Tampa and the A's. Tampa won 2 out of 3. Monday winning 7-4. Ryan Pepio went 6 1/3, 4 earned, 4 strikeouts. Homers from Brandon Lau, Christopher Morel, Junior Caminero, who's been on a tear, Shea Langoliers, Tyler Soderstrom. Spencer Simpson went 3 for 3. A's won 6-0. Jacob Lopez, 24 consecutive game scoreless inning streak. 24 consecutive scoreless innings. 7-0 earned, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits. And then the Rays won 8-2 on Wednesday. Drew Rasmussen, 6 strong, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts. Brandon Lau homered again, and Junior Caminero homered. Lawrence Butler opened up the game with a home run. I was watching that game live. Tough for the A's, but hey, Tampa getting strong, man. How are we feeling about it?
Yeah, not much from that series. Tampa 4 games under 500, 5.5 back in the wild card as things stand, but a good series win for them. Junior Caminero is pushing 40 home runs. He's at 34. He needs 6 in a month and a half. I think it's within the realm of possibility. He's been really, really good this year for Tampa. I think he's a budding star, to be honest. He didn't really well. I guess he made the championship of the home run derby, right?
Can't remember, but
I think,
you want a cool stat with Junior?
yeah.
Junior Caminero is 1 home run away from tying Manny Machado for 4th for 35 home runs in a season, younger than 22. So the only people that are higher on that list are Bob Horner, who had 35 home runs also with age 22 in the 1980s, and then Eddie Matthews at 22 he hit 40, and at 21 he hit 47 home runs. So that is some rarefied air from Junior Caminero. Credit to Just Baseball on Twitter for that statistic.
That is. Jacob Lopez might be the best pitcher no one's talking about.
Yeah, I agree. They got him in a trade from the Mariners. I was reading the other night, but yeah, pretty decent.
Yeah, he's average fastball velo is only 90.7. It's mostly 4-seam slider, mixes in a cutter and a change, but not a high velo guy, but he induces weak contact, very low average exit velocity for him, and really good extension as well, 95th percentile in extension. On the crazy scoreless streak that he's been going on, we talk about the A's needing some pitching help in terms of like that team long term in Oakland or in Las Vegas. They have the hitting is there. The lineup is going to be there. It's just a question of kind of getting that pitching ready for Las Vegas. Who knows? I mean, it's a small little streak here for him, but maybe Lopez can be one of those guys that is a pillar in that rotation in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Let's talk about Cincinnati. Kyle Schwarber went home this week to Cincinnati, where the Phillies played a 3-game set on Monday. Reds took 2 out of 3. Phillies won 4-1 on Monday. T1 Walker went 6 strong, 1 earned, 2 strikeouts. But Andrew Abbott went 7 2/3, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Had 0 earned through 7, but Francona left him in to face Turner for the 4th time in the 8th, and then that's where the doors came open. Billy scored 4 in the 8th to win the game. Then Tuesday, Reds won 6-1. Ranger Suarez was not great, 5 1/3, 6 earned, 3 strikeouts. Velo's down about 2 miles per hour after the first time through the lineup. Very interesting. Then the Reds got it all done pitching wise. Brady Singer went 6 strong, 0 earned, 6 strikeouts, and then the bullpen went 3 strong and only giving up 1 earned. Miguel Andujar has been on a heater. I know you want to talk about the Yankee let him. You got his splits up. And then Wednesday, Hunter Green came back for the first time since May 28th. Pitched 6 innings of no run ball, 6 strikeouts. Game was pretty tight. And, I mean, Christopher Sanchez and the Phillies defense, again, that's my one thing with the Phillies this year. Their defense isn't that great at times. Had an awful throwing error off a double, I believe, and allowed 2 runs to score, which kind of opened up the game. Christopher Sanchez went 6 strong, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Then Jordan Romano is still struggling out there in the pen, going 2/3 innings, 4 earned, 2 strikeouts. Reds only half a game behind the Mets. We'll talk about the Mets here soon. Reds play the Brewers this weekend. Reds playing good ball. Let's talk about it.
I think if you're a Mets fan, with the way they've been playing, obviously, but also with the way the Reds have been playing, and more specifically, who the Reds have at manager, a guy with a proven track record. He's got the pedigree. He's won World Series. Like the Mets or the Reds have a guy that mostly every single player in Major League Baseball would want to play for. I think when they did the anonymous athletic poll, like Terry Francona is always kind of one of those guys that players want to play for. And Reds are knocking on the door. They continue to play good baseball, and they just beat a really good Phillies team. They beat Christopher Sanchez. They won that game. They won the game against Ranger Suarez, and they won against T1, or they lost to Taijuan Walker. Sorry, Taijuan Walker had a really good start. But the Reds have a lot of talent. They didn't necessarily do a ton at the trade deadline, but the Miguel Andujar trade really was like back page news. Like not many people talked about it. It wasn't a headline move. It's not like it necessarily deserved all the attention in the world. And he was had a good season ish out there in Sacramento, 110 OPS plus for the A's this year in 60 games. But in his first 10 games, I know it's a small sample size, but his first 10 games as a Red, he has a 231 OPS plus, a 1.247 OPS with a 370 batting average, 3 home runs. He hit 6 home runs for the A's in 60 games. He already has half that, 3 in Cincinnati. He's been tearing the cover off the ball. He's looked like a really good addition for them. Key Brian Hayes' stats have ticked up a little bit since coming over to Cincinnati. I can pull those up right now. We know he plays good defense, of course. So his OPS, Key Brian Hayes' OPS has gone up from 569 to 587. So not necessarily the bad. He's improved a little bit, I guess, in terms of OPS. The batting average is actually down since coming over to Cincinnati. But Andujar has been a huge success for the Reds. And I don't know, man. If the Reds, like I said it last time, if the Reds make the playoffs over the Mets fandom and that front office, there might be some change this offseason in some way, because there would just be an unmitigated failure if you go out and you give Juan Soto the biggest contract we've seen and they don't even make the playoffs.
That is true. Let's go ahead and talk about the Mets then. Mets, Braves getting hot right now. Took 2 out of 3. Another series win for the Braves lately. Mets won Tuesday on their Super Bowl. Pete Alonso hit 2 homers that night. All-time home run leader. Mets fans were thinking that they won the World Series again. Well, actually, they've never won a World Series, so
Yeah, they have one. They have that one in what was it? I can't remember the year. 60 60 86 and 69. Actually, they have 2. Sorry.
Great teams celebrate World Series. Good teams celebrate player milestones. Let's put it that way.
No, come on. If Stanton hits 500 home runs, like there's a big thing.
That's fine, but we care about World Series here. Do the Red Sox care if a guy goes crazy? No, Red Sox care about rings. It's about the rings. It's about rings at the end of the day.
Can we talk? Yeah,
rings are forever.
So are all-time home run records. But
rings are forever. But Braves won Wednesday night 11-6. Braves scored 9 off David Peterson in the 4th and Reed Garrett to get the lead to 9-6. Braves bullpen went 7th strong with 0 earned to close out the game. Carlos Carrasco gave up 6, was DFA'd after that game, and then the Braves won 4-3. Want to give a quick shout out to Michael Harris. Michael Harris has quietly did something during the All-Star break. I don't know what happened, but in the second half, among center fielders, he's first in average at 366, first in slugging at 693, first in weighted on OBA at 454, first in ISO at 327, first in hits at 37, first in OPS at 1078, first in triples and 3, first in double WRC plus at 197, and first in Fangraphs were at 1.6. His average velo now, exit velocity 93.2, which ranks only behind O'Neal Cruz. He did a little swing adjustment, moving the hands up instead of having them down. Good results.
Yeah, if he can be something for that team, it would be huge because they need all the help they can get, especially with Acuna out. Obviously, it's not going to happen this year for them, but good series win for them. The Alonso home run record had me thinking a little bit because I was like, oh, wow, 253 feels a little bit light to be a team's all-time home run leader. Can you guess the two? And the Mets were founded, the first year of their existence was 1961. Can you guess the other 2 teams whose franchise leader is less than the Mets in home runs at 253?
Probably the Rays, because they're a pretty brand new franchise.
Believe it or not, the Rays have more, and that was one of the teams that I targeted, but it's actually Evan Longoria with 261. He has more.
Yeah, but barely.
but it's still more.
Who are teams that are less?
The two teams that have less, their all-time home run leader is less than the Mets, is the San Diego Padres with, can you guess their all-time home run leader?
My first guess, I was thinking Tony Gwynn, but Tony Gwynn wasn't like that. I was like, when you think Padres, I think Tony Gwynn, but it had to be, oh my God, probably somebody in the 2000s. Probably Adrian
Nope.
Gonzalez, maybe?
Current player.
Manny Machado?
Manny Machado.
Yep.
Manny Machado, he has hit, this says 167 home runs with the Padres, but I'm seeing on Baseball Reference 187. So I think this document is wrong, even though it was posted the other day. And then this is from MLB.com. And then the all-time leader for the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks is the other team. Can you guess who has their all-time home run lead?
It will be Ketel Marte soon.
Yeah. Luis Gonzalez.
Not surprised.
I thought that was kind of interesting that the Mets have been in existence. The Padres were founded in '68, so the Padres truly have not had like a home run hitter in their existence, like a consistent home run guy. I know Ken Caminiti was good, but long-term home run guy the Padres have not had, and the Mets clearly haven't had until now with Alonso. So I just thought that was a little interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah, Mets in free fall.
Mets struggling. I mean, talk about it. I mean, crazy. Something's gonna happen real soon, but let's keep it moving. Arizona, Texas, Diamondbacks taking 2 out of 3. Texas, just whenever we feel like there's a glimmer of hope, they come crashing right back down. Evaldi struggled on Monday. Rangers won 7-6. Evaldi went 5, gave up 5, 8 hits, 3 homers, 3 strikeouts. Again, Jake Berger had to walk it off in the 10th off Phil Matten off a RBI single. D-backs were leading 6-1, but they scored. The Rangers scored 4 in that inning in the 6th to make it 6-5. Diamondbacks won 3-2 on Tuesday. Ketel Marte with a solo shot giving the lead 3-2 for the Diamondbacks. And then you had Merrill Kelly versus Zach Gallen. Ex-teammates. Diamondbacks won 6-4. Ketel Marte went 4 for 5. I mean, Ketel Marte is probably the best second baseman that doesn't get talked about in the majors. In the last 162, he's hitting 300, 47 home runs, 116 RBIs, and a 984 OPS with an outs above average. Guess what? Outs above average.
5.
11 since last year.
Wow.
He is insane. He's had 48 home runs now in the last 162 after yesterday's game. And according to StatHead, he's the only second baseman since at least 1901. And credit Jesse Friedman on Twitter with this find to have 48 homers in any 162 game span. A truly elite talent at second base.
Yeah, I don't think he's underrated though. I feel like the conversation around him is now solidly he is the best second baseman in the league. It's more of a question of who's second.
Guess what? Who has a higher OPS this season than Ketel Marte?
Any position?
Yeah, there's only 2 players.
Judge and Ohtani.
Exactly, the Judge and Ohtani. And
wow.
The crazy thing is that the Diamondbacks have had a better record since July 4th than the Dodgers. Dodgers are 12-20 since July 4th, which means, and the Braves, Rockies, Nationals, and Rays are the only teams with worse records than that.
Diamondbacks are only 4.5 out, so it's not necessarily over for them. It was a really nice win on Wednesday. Diamondbacks were down 4-2 heading into the 9th, and then McCann hit a homer with 2 outs, made it 4-3, and then Marte had that clutch 3-run blast to make it 6-4 D-backs. Really good series win for them. I mean, Evaldi struggled on Monday, 5 innings, 5 earned. His first bad start really all season. Rowdy Tellez, the Girthquake, had a big home run in the 9th. And I know he doesn't like that nickname. I saw a funny interview about that this week. But yeah, Rangers, like you said, just when we feel like they're clicking it into gear, they go out and lose the series to the D-backs. So, man, I don't know. Maybe the D-backs aren't dead. Maybe the D-backs are not dead. And maybe the Rangers are in some trouble.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Brewers this week at American Family Field. They play the Pittsburgh Pirates. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Milwaukee going through those horrific flooding going around there. I mean, make sure to check in on your loved ones if you know any Milwaukeeans. Is that how you say Milwaukeeans
I honestly
or
have no idea.
Wisconsin's?
Wisconsinites, I think, is what they say.
Yeah. But Brewers swept 7-1 on Monday, 14-0 on Tuesday off of Paul Skeens, and then 12-5 on Wednesday. I mean, Paul Skeens on Tuesday had 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned, 4 strikeouts. Paul Skeens struggles at American Family Field. Just Baseball tweeted out, in 2 starts at American Family Field this season, Paul Skeens has only gone in total 8 innings pitched, 10 hits, 8 runs, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Both starts only lasted 4 innings. So definitely struggling there. Brewers are just a machine right now. Yelich and Bryce Terang, who I think Bryce Terang is another underrated second baseman, went yard on Monday. Tuesday, Freddie Peralta went 6 strong, 0 earned, 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Again, Yelich, Terang, Bong, Frelick, and Caleb Durbin went a homer. And then Wednesday, Brandon Woodruff went 4 strong, 0 earned, 4 strikeouts, 65 pitches. Brian Reynolds had a 2-homer game, but William Contreras 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. All the RBIs were singles, doubles, and a walk for the Brewers. I mean, Brewers are just getting on fire right now. That's 12 straight.
Yeah, they don't lose games, man. They don't freaking lose games. It's crazy for teams trying to chase the division like the Cubs and maybe even the Reds. Just can't get in. I mean, the Cubs are now 8 games back. That division could be wraps. That they just don't lose games. Big series coming up here for the Brewers and that whole division. The Brewers got 3 in Cincy this weekend, and then 5, I believe it is, in because they got 2 on Monday, 5 in Chicago next week. So big little stretch here. Looks like Jacob Mizorowski is potentially returning tonight. I saw he pulled like some big, I don't know much about Pokemon, but I saw he pulled some big Pokemon card in the clubhouse after the game. Nonetheless, Brewers story of the season. They take care of business against the crappy Pirates.
Let's talk about the Cubs now. Well, do the Cubs talk right here. It's a tough week for the Cubs.
Tough week. You want me to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, you're the Chicago guy.
All right. Cubs went up north of the border, played 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays, the first place Toronto Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays took 2 out of 3. The Blue Jays won 5-1 on Monday. Berrios went 5 1/3, no earned runs, lowered his ERA to 3.74. Javier Assad made his season debut for the Cubs, 4 innings, 4 earned runs, 70 pitches for him. Andrés Giménez returned for the Blue Jays. Ernie Clement hit a home run, his 3rd home run he hit a home run in 3 straight games. Home runs from Varsho and Clement. In that one, Vladdy also had a 3-hit game, and the Blue Jays won in that one. Cubs only had 4 hits, and Dansby Swanson had a tough day at short with 2 errors. Wednesday, the Cubs won. Cade Horton, his scoreless streak ended at 29, which is the longest streak in Major League Baseball this season. But as we talked about earlier, maybe Jacob Lopez is pushing for that. 5 2/3, 1 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. His ERA is down to 3.07. The Cubs have actually had good pitching of late. They just can't hit right now is their big problem. Kevin Gausman went 7 innings, 2 earned. Penn for the Cubs, 3 1/3 scoreless, only 1 hit allowed. Kidrich, Thielbar, Keller, and Palencia, homers from Shaw and Bush. Only 2 hits in this game for the Cubs. Miguel Amaya carted off the field with an ankle injury. Was his first game since May. So I think he laid it on the injured list with an ankle sprain, I think it was. Palencia picked up the save in that one. And then on Thursday, the Jays won 2-1. Cubs were up 1-0 late, but then Vladdy hit a clutch 2-run bomb against Matthew Boyd in the 7th to take the win. Max Scherzer, 7 innings, 1 earned. Owen Casey made his MLB debut. Cubs top prospect went 0 for 4, got robbed. Davis Schneider made a beautiful catch in left field, diving to his left, kind of backwards as well. Matthew Boyd went 7 innings, 2 earned. But like I said, the Blue Jays won 2-1, and Cubs are in some trouble. They're not winning that division at this point. It's going to be Milwaukee and PCA. Do we talk about PCA?
I mean, they've been struggling. PCA has been abysmal. Him and Kyle Tucker. A lot of Cubs fans on the net been saying, "Oh, Wrigley's tough on lefties. Look at Cody Bellinger. He went through the same thing. But man, oh man, Pete Crow Armstrong in August, 3 for 37. And this was as of August 12th. 3 for 37, 14 Ks.
Yeah.
And
Now
then
he's
you also have this. Yeah, go ahead.
3 for 41 with 15 Ks now.
You also have this thing from John Anderson. He's a great fantasy analyst for baseball. He was talking about from July to August 13th in 281 plate appearances, Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong combined for 220, 307, 370, 677 OPS, and 7 homers, compared to hitting 38 bombs between March and June. Some people think Kyle Tucker's hurt. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I mean, it's been tough. Pete Crow Armstrong has not been great.
I think
MVP, adios.
Yeah, I think he's hurt. PCA.
Tucker?
I think there's
you mean Tucker?
yeah,
not
Tucker.
PCA.
Tucker. I mean, maybe PCA too. PCA is hitting 190 against lefties this season with
Woo!
a 628 OPS. I think there's a very good chance that PCA played the best offensive baseball of his whole career in the first half of the season, first couple months. And that's not a bad thing. I think he could be a career, I don't know, 110, 115 OPS guy, which is still about, I still think he can be an above average hitter. And he's good at essentially everything else in the sport. Like he's a good runner, elite defender, one of the best, if not the best defensive center fielders in the league. Like I always talk about it. Guys that play elite level defense, the floor is there. All he's got to do is be a serviceable hitter, but he's not an MVP level hitter. I don't think it's there. He's still super young, so there's room for him to improve. But I think we saw potentially the best hitting run of PCA's career in the first half. I don't want to write the guy off. He's only 23 years old, and I still think he's going to have a really good career, long career, just because of the floor that he has. He's a really good baseball player. I do think it was maybe producing above his true hitting talent level in the first half of the season, though.
Yeah. Let's go Seattle, Baltimore. Orioles won 2 out of 3. Tough series for Seattle to lose. Mariners won 1-0 on Tuesday. Munoz got the save. Looks like he was struggling with a little bit of heat exhaustion. Not just speculating, not alleging. Not saying he had it. Wednesday, Orioles won 4-3. Felix Bautista, biggest news, out for the season with the shoulder injury, and Zach Eflin's out for the season with the back injury. Grayson Rodriguez was also had surgery with the debridement surgery, so he's out for the season. Jackson Holiday walked off double in the 9th off Matt Brash, and then the Orioles won 5-3 on Thursday. Orioles scored their runs from RBIs from Gunnar Henderson, Jeremiah Jackson, Ryan Mountcastle, and a wild pitch and a steal of home. So tough for Seattle. And then to close out, last one of the podcast, the Houston Astros played the Boston Red Sox. Astros won 2 out of 3. Astros won 7-6 on Monday. Crochet was not great, going 4 strong, 5 earned, 5 strikeouts. Christian Javier had his first start since May of 2024 after Tommy John. He went 5 strong, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts. Bregman and Correa, first time in Houston together. Bregman homered in the first AB. Tuesday, Red Sox won 14-1. Bregman homered again with Carlos Narvaez and Roman Anthony. Every Sox starter got a hit. And then the Astros won on Wednesday 4-1. I know Alex Cora was tossed in that game. Jeremy Pena hit a homer, and Yanier Diaz. Hunter Brown went 6 2/3, 1 earned, 4 strikeouts. Biggest news of the week for Houston. Again, another injury to the team. Josh Hader is getting a second opinion on his shoulder. So, I mean, as much as strong start of Houston has had, Houston may be one of those teams down the stretch that fall off due to all these injuries. Very, very tough loss for Houston with Hader. Hader's been probably the best closer this year in the majors, up there with Andres Munoz.
Yeah, we always talk about second opinions. That's kind of always very concerning. Not necessarily a death sentence, but Joe Espada said it's going to be longer than the 2 weeks on the injured list. So concerned for Houston. They are a game and a half up in that division right now. But again, Seattle's knocking on the door. Had Seattle taken care of business this week against Seattle or against Baltimore, it would have been potentially like a game or a half game. And now Houston gets the chance to play Baltimore at home for 3, and then they travel to Detroit for 3, and then travel to Baltimore for 4. So it's going to be very fun to watch those teams, 2 teams jockey for that division down the stretch. I think it's going to be a tight race. I like both of those teams. I do like the addition of Jesus Sanchez, even though it hasn't quite necessarily worked out for them. I think that's going to be a good fit for them. We're really worried about this Jordan injury, though. Like, we're getting to mid-August. We're at the point where you would like to see, obviously, you would like to see him return, but this is the point of the season where it's like, all right, it gives you enough like ramp up time to get you, because he hasn't played in a long time, like enough ramp up time to get ready for the playoffs and get those at bats in. He's still injured. I haven't really seen any updates on him coming back anytime soon. It seems like this hand injury is a pretty big deal for him.
I mean, yeah, you keep bringing it up every podcast. Updates. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So, I mean, hey, big weekend of baseball coming up right now. Big weekend. I mean, some good series of ball this weekend. You'll be boots on the ground with some content. Reds at Brewers, Texas going to Toronto, Braves, Guardians, Orioles, Astros, as you just mentioned, Tigers, Twins, Dodgers, Padres, Rays, Giants, Mariners, Mets. It could get worse in Mets world this weekend with the Mariners going to town. So, yeah, we'll be very interested to see what happens. I mean, at least the Cubs get the Pirates, so.
They better take care of business. Yordan Alvarez, by the way, we did get an update. Nearing live at bats. So that's still not much of an update if we're being honest.
So, yeah.
That's looking at like September sometime for a return.
Exactly. So,
all right. That was remains to be seen. That was a loaded one. Loaded episode.
That was loaded. Yep.
Big week of ball.
Big week. We'll be back Monday morning. Yankee weekend in review. Fish Files. Just reviewing the weekend that was in baseball. I mean, we're getting close to September. September's right around the corner. Big series ahead. Make sure to keep it locked. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and on Instagram. Substack article coming soon from William on the Substack. And anything else I missed? Trying to get the 150 before the end of the year.
Yeah, I was going to say something and I totally forgot. Totally slipped my mind. I don't know. That's frustrating. I hate when that happens. It's one of my least favorite things. It was good too. It was good.
It was good. College
new contracts, worst contract drafts coming up soon. We're going to record that and have it ready for you guys.
Yeah,
special episode.
Soon. So special episode. So we'll be coming back soon. So,
yep. All right, we'll be back Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, rate, subscribe, all that stuff helps out the podcast visibility. And Luis, for my good friend over there, Luis, stay safe this weekend, everybody. And
make sure you tap into the Premier League this weekend. We're back, baby. We're back.
The Prem is back. Arsenal United. It's going to be a toxic freaking day on Sunday in our group chat. Anyways.
So, yeah. Yeah. So,
all right.
So, yeah.
That's all we got. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.